Okay, guys, so we are back with the Liar Society, and we are in chapter 20 Weatherby. On Saturday, there's a damp chill in the air, and I try to keep my mind from going back to last air. I need to stay focused on sailing, and whenever I reach for my bag, Mom's eyes meet mine. What am I supposed to say to you again, honey? Fair luck, break the wind? I love Mom for asking and for trying to understand. Fair winds. Fair winds, she repeats. I hope you have fun and bring home a win. You want to win, right? That's the goal of the sailing regatta? I choke out a laugh. Just regatta, Mom. She cringes at herself. I'll get that right eventually. And yes, I want to win. She smiles. I love you. I wish that I could be there to watch. You'll do great. I smile back. I love you too. Next time? Mom nods. Next time. But we both know there probably won't ever be a day, at least not anytime soon, when Mom will have 6 free hours to watch me sail as coffee turns to cocktails underneath parent tent. Most Saturdays, Mom has to work. It's quiet as the team packs up our gear and gets settled onto the bus. Teddy saves a spot for me up front. We haven't been alone since Harper's house was vandalized, and I still feel weird about what she said to me. This is my chance to tell her. I take a deep breath and say, it really hurt whenever you called me your scholarship friend. I was just trying to make Harper feel better, she says defensively. It's not a big deal. To you, I say. I don't always feel like I belong in Boston. Teddy blinks like she's confused, but you do. Sometimes I feel like I'm not as good as kids whose parents pay for school, even if it's not true, I admit. And I get that you weren't trying to hurt me, but I did. Teddy finishes my thought. Her light blue eyes are wide, like what I'd said just clicked in her mind. My throat thickens. Yeah, a lot. I'm sorry I can't believe you had to explain that to me. Sorry for that too, she says. I think it's really cool and confident that you said something. I doubt that I would have. But I want you to. I'm going to mess up, so let's be friends who tell each other the truth, I say, because I think that I only want to be friends like that, even if I don't have as many. Yeah, okay. Teddy shows uncomfortably in her seat. I really messed up with Harper, and I didn't even ask if she was okay, she sighs. I talked to my mom about everything, and now I get why Harper didn't tell the truth. She didn't even have to lie that much. I sort of made up what I thought, and she just went along. And she was probably afraid of exactly what went down. I nod. You should tell Harper that, you think? Teddy asks. If I were her, I'd want to know, I say. She's so mad. Not that I blame her. I would I wouldn't give her another chance. I wouldn't trust me at all. Me neither, but I didn't say that. I get that Teddy is trying to change, and I hope she does. It seems like she really wants to. Maybe tell her anyway? You're right, she says. I mean, I wanted to know I was wrong. I messed up with Harper and with you. Her eyes met mine. I'm surprised by how much that her words matter. Thanks for saying that. It helps. I'm glad, Teddy says, and then she takes out a map of the course that we're sailing today. She holds the paper out in front of us so that we can both see. I spend most of the ride visualizing how Jack and I are going to make fast, sharp turns and win. At the Harper Club, our team is escorted through the main entrance by a tall man in a blazer with an HC logo embroidered in gold thread on his lapel. He introduces himself as the gardener, opens the door, and then we're outside on a sprawling lawn facing the water. School tents in hunter green, maroon, and two in navy are already on the dock with caterers in crisp, all-white uniforms ready to serve. Inside the Boston tent, it smells like butter and fresh bread. On the welcome table, there's a menu with a list of what's being served for breakfast, lunch, and all-day snacks. A blonde woman in enormous pearls and a legacy cap embroidered with a school shield introduces herself to us as a member of the parent committee. Someone from her team hands us Boston School boat totes, water bottles, and blankets. Dishes clatter in the distance, and when I graze across the tent, I notice breakfast is already being served with eggs made to order, fresh muffins, croissants, scones, 6-tier yogurt parfaits, and a chocolate fountain. Teddy and I both fill our plates, and then we sit down at the table with the other kids from our team. As parents start to park their shiny SUVs on the gravel next to the tent, they hug and smile and laugh in their khakis and braided belts. Suddenly I'm relieved that Mom had to work. She wouldn't know how to fit in here. Only as soon as that thought crosses my mind, I feel a sharp stab of guilt. I wouldn't be in this position without her, and I guess I know that the longer I go on playing the part of a Boston student, the less it will feel like pretending. I'll just be a girl who sells in regattas and goes to a fancy private school. It hadn't occurred to me until now that being part of Dad's world might mean that I'm not always in the same world as Mom. My stomach squeezes, but I force down my egg and a biscuit sandwich, because even though my appetite is gone, I need energy to win my races. Whenever I hear someone clear their throat behind me, I turn, and Skip is standing there with a coffee and a thick, tattered book under his arm. He's in an old Barber jacket and two long khakis that drag under his boat boots, like his mom bought them a size too big 30 years ago. His salt and pepper hair is more restrained than usual. He might have missed his last haircut or two, but he remembered to shower. "Hiya, Star," Skip says, eyes smiling at me. "Your mom said that she couldn't make it today, and I figured that you should have someone on the dock cheering for you." I swallow hard, and I know Skip doesn't like to be surrounded by the prep school crowd, but he came here anyway for me. When I glance up at him and take his kind hazel eyes, mine start to sting, and I can feel just how much that I needed exactly that. "Thanks." Coach Greenleaf walks over and reaches out to shake Skip's hand. "You must be Weatherby's father. I'm her coach. It's wonderful to have you here with us today." Skip takes her hand. "I'm the next door neighbor. Nice to meet you, Coach." "Excuse me," she says, face flushed. "My mistake." Skippy Boy Hutchinson is also a distinguished Boston alumnus. A man I don't recognize shouts in a mocking tone from a few yards away. I always forget Skip went to Boston because he acts so different from everyone at school. And then I notice Jack trailing behind the tall, important man. I scan for clues. Same belt, same boat shoes in different colors, same eyes. This must be Jack's dad, Charles H. Hunt of Charles H. Hunt Hall. How does Jack's dad know Skip from Boston? Jack shoots me a look, and then he says that he'd rather be anywhere else. Skip steps back over so slightly from the overpowering energy taking over our section of the fancy tent. All hail the Gore-Tex King. "You shouldn't be here, Skippy." Skip narrows his eyes. "You know that's not true, Charlie." Then Jack's dad drops his gaze to me. "Weatherby, I've heard about you." His face contorts when he says my name. He looks uncomfortable, like he swallowed something rotten and the bad taste is still lingering in his mouth. I get the distinct feeling that he doesn't want me here, which is weird because he doesn't even know me. Weatherby is a star. Skip cuts in. "Your precious team is lucky to have her." "Is that right?" Skip's dad looks down at his too big for his face snotty nose at Skippy, and then pats him a little too hard on the back. "Well, then, I look forward to seeing how she does today." A lump the size of the regatta scone appears in my throat, making it hard to breathe. I didn't think that there would be any more pressure on me today, but here we are. "Weatherby will do great," Skip says. Jack's dad lowers his voice, and I almost miss what he says. "Trust before truth." My heart bangs in my chest. His words echo in my ears. Why is Jack's dad saying the oath to Skip? Is Skip in last year? He can't be. There's no way. I hold my breath and wait to see how Skip responds. He doesn't. "Oh, right. My mistake." Jack's dad mutters. "You can't be trusted." So Skip isn't in last year. Of course he isn't. Skip isn't an insider at the Boston school. Jack's dad just made a mistake. But he's wrong about Skip. Skip can be trusted. I trust him. Weatherby and I actually have to go, Jack says hesitantly. "Team meeting in 5. I look up at Skip and he signals for me to go ahead, and I follow Jack over to where Coach Davis is standing with her clipboard. A second later, Prescott walks over to us. "Who's the dude that your dad hates?" "Don't know." Jack shrugs. "Skip," I say, "my neighbor. He taught me how to sail." Jack shoots me a look. "I thought your uncle taught you." "He's like my uncle," I say back. Jack's forehead pinches. "Wait, is that the guy that you sailed with at the district regatta?" "Yeah," I said. "Why?" "Because that guy Skip, he's best friends with my uncle Yates. Or he was." "No, that's not true. Skip can't be friends with Yates. A. Yates is a bad guy. B. Yates is a Hunt." "What if the reason Skip hates the Hunts is that he's friends with Yates, who is basically kicked out of the Hunt family?" Prescott asked. "What if Skip helped Yates steal the Hart Isle money?" "What? No, Skip would never steal," I say. My mind starts to spin. We think that Yates might be paying off people for medical damages, and Skip would never be involved in that. Skip wouldn't be friends with someone who would hurt people. And there's no way he's friends with Yates Hunt. Also, Skip hates Boston. Maybe he didn't always. Jack picks his nails. Prescott shrugs. "Just saying, this guy fits the profile. Skip can barely use the internet. He's not savvy enough for computer crimes." Prescott arches a brow. Or at least that's what he wants you to think. Bring it on, Coach Davis shouts. Or bring it in, Coach Davis shouts. We circle up with the rest of the team, but I don't hear anything either coach says during their pep talk. I'm too busy thinking about Skip. I know Skip had nothing to do with the stolen trip money. But what if he was best friends with Yates Hunt? There must be a reason he never mentioned being friends with Hunt. On the way down to the dock, my brain is still spinning with questions. Jack and I set up the boat, but I'm distracted the whole time. I straddle the centerboard and shift my weight with a jib sheet in each hand, and it takes me a few seconds to figure out what kind of day it's going to be. The wind and the water are never the same, and I try to let the salty morning air and the sound of sails flapping above me clear my mind, but no matter how hard I try, my head is stuck back on the shore. And when the horn sounds and the first race starts, I stare up ahead trying to focus, and the current is coming with the wind, and I hear myself talking, going through the motions, but I'm not really here. Not really. Jack adjusts and I maneuver, playing the jib to match him. I follow his lead, and I trim my sails, switching sides and leading the boat around the sharp turn. Except before I realize we knock into another boat and I didn't see coming, and it's more like a crash. I cringe as the whistle blows. We need to take a 2-turn penalty before we can get back in the race. Somehow we manage to nail the next few turns and finish 8th out of 20 boats. 8th place is not good enough. Weatherby, Jack calls out to me, not shouting, but his voice is a little louder than normal. When I look up at him, I realize that he must have been trying to get my attention for a few minutes. Are you okay? He asked. No, I'm not. I can't stop thinking about what Prescott said. He's wrong about Skip. Jack gives me a look. Well, you kind of need to snap out of it for the rest of the regatta. Yeah, I get that, I say. It's just that Prescott doesn't know Skip, and it doesn't seem like your dad really does either. But I do, even if Skip has secrets, even if he was friends with Yates at some point. I know Skip now, and he wouldn't steal the Heart Isle money. He knows how much the trip matters, and he would never do anything to hurt me. Jack laces the lines between his fingers, jaw tight, like he's thinking hard about what I just said. Let's say Skip wasn't involved in stealing the money. If he used to be friends with Yates, he might still be able to help us. Maybe he knows when my dad thinks Yates would do something like this. Will you ask him? I can do that, I say. Thanks for believing me. I do, he says. Now, can you try to sail, because I really want to win. And as soon as he says that, I feel bad for letting him down. I'm sorry. I just want to prove to my dad that I can be the best, and he doesn't think that I have what it takes. And I can't win without you, okay? I need your help. Duh, I say. We're a team. We need to work together. That's the whole point. And Jack, we're going to get in boat 1. And once we do, we're going to stay there. He looks up at me, eyes glinting in the sunlight. Ready whenever you are. I nod. Let's go prove your dad wrong. When the horn sounds and the next race starts, Jack and I have fun being on the water and racing our boat and making each other better. The whole time we're sailing, I forget about the crowd. I forget to care that this race matters to anyone but me and Jack as we fly across the water, sailing into first place. At the end of the set, Skip is waiting for me on the dock. You were incredible, such a strong finish, and that's what counts, Star. I can't help but smile. Thanks. I pause for a moment. I feel proud, and then I look up at Skip and ask, Are you friends with Yates Hunt? And for a second, Skip looks like he can't breathe, clutching his chest with his hand. And when his eyes meet mine again, they're sad and wet. A long, long time ago, he was my best friend. But no, not anymore. We haven't known each other for many years. I breathe out a quick burst of relief pulsing through me. I knew it. Skip isn't friends with Yates Hunt. But then the first part of what he said starts to sink in. They used to be best friends? What happened? I asked. The Hunts are a powerful family, Skip says, lowering his voice. They always find a way to win. And I can't shake the thought that whatever happened between Skip and Yates has something to do with last air. And I know I need to ask. I take a deep breath and I force my words out. Did you get tapped when you were at Boston? Skip's eyes grow wide in disbelief. I can't talk about that. His words get caught in his throat. But I can't, he says. I'm sorry. Maybe another time, I ask. Never. Please don't ask me again. He shakes his head and his eyes fill with tears. Star, be very careful. You can't trust the Hunts. And that's chapter 20.